And that, my friends, is how your new Mr. Money to Bank, or the Beast in the Bank, basically likes to walk around carrying around his little new toy that he's just going to grab and just sit his ass down on his couch. For how long? Another week? Who knows? As we just painfully watch WWE just absolutely just troll with us even more. As we know, whatever happens with Brock and that briefcase, nobody's going to like. But guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993. And as I shall say, Kitty of the Man as well. Well, that's great for my cat. Just chilling on my bed here. Let's see. If he wants to go out, I got to open up my door to let him out. But we are live here for my live review of Monday Night Raw, the May 20th, 2019 edition that took place in Albany, New York. It is the Fallout show from Money in the Bank, and it's kind of building towards the next two pay-per-views, since the next one is a pay-per-view, but more so of a special, the second ever WWE Super Showdown, being headlined by Goldberg and Undertaker, which once again, I will not be watching that show or doing anything involving that show whatsoever. So even though I hate the name, my next focus, my next card predictions will be for WWE Stomping Grounds. Hate the name, but it's the next pay-per-view I'm going to actually do stuff for, even though, once again, this is not really a fun time to be a WWE fan right now, for sure. It is not. But overall, this episode of Raw, didn't say I completely hated it. Stuff I didn't like about it. Just, our show was just there. Couple of things I did enjoy, but some stuff, once again, just did not make sense. Once again, because of Mr. Beast in the Bank, and also the stinking wild card rule. Because why are the same exact superstars showing up for this wild card rule all the time? Why did Roman Reigns have to show up tonight? Why did Kofi have to show up again tonight? Why did Lars Sullivan? Why the hell did Lars Sullivan come to Raw just to have another face-to-face confrontation with the Lucha House Party? And of course, one of the biggest stories of the night is the new title that we apparently got, that we will definitely talk about as well when we get there as well. What are my thoughts on it, and what's this whole idea of this third hour of Raw? Find that a little interesting, but the title itself and the meme behind it, either I really don't like it or I got to give it a chance. Design, my gosh, we'll rant about that when we get there. But let's check the live chat first. It was actually, for a while though, the only thing I really enjoyed on this show, the best thing that came out tonight while on my TV at all, was not Raw, was the fact that Burger King, my former employer, even though I would never work there again because I absolutely hated it, but some of their food is good. It's delicious in my opinion, even though it's not healthy for you. But the fact that Burger King has brought back the chicken parm sandwich. So this live review will be brought to you by the new chicken parm sandwich at Burger King. I guess we want to throw that out that way. But let's check the live chat and see what we've got here. We've got Mark. He thought the opening was funny. What happened to Raw Graysits? To the Raw graphics? Oh, graphics. Yeah, it seemed like they're doing something with like this third hour of Raw, doing the whole like lightning hour, something like that, with going black and white with the graphics. It was different, but I'm open to giving that a try. Basically, the title though, no. The wild card rule is stupid. Yes, it is. Jalen thought it was the worst Raw after Money in the Bank. Whoever he cashed in on, we're not going to see the title for a while. Oh, for sure. The thoughts on the new title, we'll get to that, of course, later on. Do the best and worst WWE Championship feud. I'm planning on doing that this week again. I was going to do it last week again. I just needed to throw together a better list, which probably not going to be doing that until Friday because I had something come up for Thursday night. So probably going to be doing that on Friday, but that will be my stream for this week from Tyler's suggestion. Yeah, that belt is ridiculous. I think the new title name is stupid and it looks hideous. Oh yeah. Definitely for sure, guys. But thank you for those who are joining me in the live chat. Let's roll into this review and see what we got. We open up with Mr. Beast in the Bank himself, Brock Lesnar, coming out looking again, just literally taking the briefcase and it's like, yeah, like holding it up to his ear, going like he's beatboxing with this briefcase. Like it's one thing to put the briefcase on the man. That you absolutely can do absolutely nothing with that to make anybody happy. Whether he beats Kofi, he beats Rollins. No one's gonna be happy because no one wants to see the guy in the freaking title picture anymore. And even if he doesn't successfully cash in his Money in the Bank contract, we're not gonna be happy because you wasted the briefcase again and nobody benefited from it in the long run. Like literally. I can't look at the highlights from that main event last night and say that it was a good match because all I can think about was how it ended. None of what we got in that main event match mattered last night because the only thing that mattered was Vince giving the briefcase to some part-time lazy-ass big man I would not want to see in a dark alley. Thank you very much. I'm still just so mad they did that. They completely wasted this. And then apparently they were making sense that they were going to give it to Ali. Backstage rumors were the plan was for it to be Ali, and then they kept this here until the last second saying, it's going to be Brock. Come on. Brock Lesnar does not need a briefcase to get a title opportunity. He does not. He does not. So why are we wasting this on him having play mind games when I act like he actually gives a shit about this company when you went out of your way last year to make it say this man thinks this company is just a piece of crap and he doesn't care about anything, just wants his damn money. Why all of a sudden show that he somewhat cares? It makes no freaking sense. But Heyman comes out, introduces him and whatnot, and basically says that his client had heard the theory that they had hatched this plan as soon as they saw Sami Zayn get Braun Strowman out of the match. But somehow, some way, they had a back route into the XL Center, and somehow they could sneak in Brock Lesnar. But how do you even sneak in Brock Lesnar? It's easy to get Brock Lesnar in. Sami was lured, beaten, hung upside down, or say crucified upside down, and then someone with the right political connects made a quick negotiation for Brock to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. These theories give them way too much credit. Why not blame Lesnar now for killing JFK instead of Castro? That's how it goes. If he's WWE or Universal Champion, he's a paranoid man right now. Because whenever they appear at a WWE event, they're vulnerable to the greatest assassin in WWE history, who now literally has a contract on their reigns. Seth first, every time he comes out, he has to be paranoid that Brock will strike at that. And his father, Tricky Dicky dangerously taught him just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you. But the good news, the whole world isn't against him, just Brock. Heyman would rather have the entire world than just Brock. And now he has to defend the title anytime that Lesnar demands. Which, once again, he's always demanding. He only has title shots at pay-per-views. And so, again, if Brock Lesnar, all of a sudden, now Brock Lesnar is going to fight on Raw. If he actually would cash it on Raw, which I doubt. I still think, people are saying, like, he's basically just saving this cash-in for a glorified house show next Friday. I'm sorry, in a little under 3 weeks. That show is. It's June 7th. But I'm not watching it again. But out comes Seth Rollins and says he should be ecstatic after being in the fight of his life against AJ and winning, but he's not in a good mood because he has to come out here and see this. But he's trying to be the champion that Brock never had the guts to be, and he can't do that with that contract over his head. So this is what he proposes. He knows he can beat Brock, so why not be a man and cash it in right now? Heyman says that Seth has to play Brock's game before getting drowned out by the roar of the crowd at the standoff between the two men. Paul continues saying he gets it, but this is Lesnar's game of anticipation, which means Rollins has to wait until Brock feels like it. It's kind of like waiting. This is my favorite. Okay, even though I absolutely hate this promo because just Brock holding that briefcase made me sick. This is my favorite line. Heyman says it's kind of like waiting around 7 hours for your girlfriend to main event the show you've dreamed of. And of course, for the Becky Lynch, and Seth gets hot, gets in Brock's face, trying to start up with getting mad enough to cash in, but then Paul pulls Brock back and tries to question Rollins' worthiness and suggests that perhaps Maybe Lesnar thinks Seth is beneath him and wants to challenge a new day, if you will. And of course, the first of night's wild cards is Kofi Kingston, because the same exact wild cards every single freaking week. He comes out and he doesn't mean to steal Seth's thunder, but he's trying to establish his legacy as champ. And when it's said and done, he wants to be remembered as one of the best of all time, and he can't do that unless he beats the best. So Brock's cashing in tonight. He needs to cash in on him. But then Paul says he just realized both world champions are auditioning for a main event match against the reign defending champion of the box office. But he didn't have to come to them. They came to him. And he has inside words like the two of them are done for the evening, since they'll most likely be out here later tonight. Lesnar ain't going anywhere. In other words, stay tuned. The beast is yet to come. Then we see Foley backstage being greeted and whatnot. But yeah, again, once again, as I said before, Brock does not need a damn briefcase to demand a title match. But yet they're so way sound. Again, no matter what they do with this briefcase, no one's going to be happy. No one is getting better from this. This is just Vince just trolling around with us. Again, it's Vince going out of his way to sabotage us, because we got all that we wanted at WrestleMania 35. We got Seth dethroning the Beast. We got Kofi winning the title. Again, Kofi eventually is going to drop that title, and so is Seth Rollins. Just not to freaking Brock Lesnar. I keep saying this. If Brock wants to stick around, fine. Just get out of the stinking title picture, please. I beg you. He's like a dog that poos everywhere, or he's like, he's like that person that, he's that dog, and when Vince calls him, he goes running. He can't get the freak away. And as soon as I open this up, I'm thinking, oh crap. We don't suspense he's going to cash it. It's not good suspense of him cashing on Rollins or Kofi, because neither one is going to make anybody happy. If he cashes on Kofi, I guarantee you, Brock Lesnar will hold that title until Roman Reigns dethrones him. And if Roman's going to get the title, I do not want to see him face Brock again for the millionth time. They had their good match at WrestleMania 31. The rest of them sucked. And again, as I said, I couldn't bear another day of that feud. So I don't want to see that happen. But then backstage, we see Kofi and Seth being told by Triple H that they're teaming up tonight in the main event against a team of Bobby Lashley and Baron Corbin. So Baron Corbin's getting another main event match. Why? I don't know. But then we also see Mick Foley coming in with the new title he's carrying for tonight, hidden in a little bag. He's greeted by several people. But then in Gorilla, Sami Zayn is begging Bobby Lashley. I'm sitting there begging Bobby to say, Sammy, it's good to see you again, buddy. Which I wear my purple shirt, so it fits good. Sammy, it's good to see you again, buddy. But Sammy is begging Bobby to soften up Braun Strowman a bit for him. But Lashley's not having it. But he's happy to have Sammy soften Braun up a little bit for him. So tells him, you got this. Sami Zayn goes out terrified to death. Braun Strowman comes out with this new shirt on that looks like the shirt doesn't make him look like he's like as I said on Twitter. We've gotten the nickname of, babysitter among men. What was the most recent one we came up with, Robbie? I can't remember what it was called. There was a freaking babysitter among men. I don't remember what else. But my thing came up for tonight was based on what I saw that shirt, the Hunchback of Notre Dame among men. Braun Strowman's new shirt with that picture of him makes him look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Great, because he has become more of a joke. And this was a joke. Sami Zayn went running away from Braun Strowman. They chased each other around. He walked past Bobby Lashley, who he's facing in a little over 2 weeks at Super Showdown. And I don't care at all. All he does is walks past Lashley and says, I'll deal with you later. Sammy gets very little offense in on Braun, but Braun eventually just drags Sammy back out and squashes him. So yeah, once again, Sami Zayn has no direction. He came out for weeks being the critic of the critics, cutting those great promos, could just capitalize great on giving him the Money in the Bank contract. They had the freaking crucify him on a fence and give it to the freaking Brock Lesnar. And then he gets squashed by Braun Strowman, which does nothing for Braun and doing nothing for Sami. So now what for Sami Zayn? Nothing! Then we have Lars Sullivan apparently going to be interviewed. He's going to speak for the first time. Once again, Braun Strowman's on SmackDown. Why couldn't we have a segment like this on SmackDown at least? I can forgive this at least. Like, why do you have to come to Raw just to be interviewed? And to make it all worse, just to be not even speak a word, and out comes a freaking Lucha House Party trying to do a 3-on-1 assault on him. Of course, it does not work. Waste of time. We get a video package of AJ Styles and Seth Rollins of last night. And then we see this Now, we have a match next. Cesaro and Ricochet, which was a good match, but I hated the segment that involved, why this match happened. So Ricochet, got banged up last night, being slammed through the ladder by Drew McIntyre. Okay. He's backstage and, he's getting his back checked on. Cesaro rolls up and makes fun of Ricochet. Oh, you little baby, you're hurt so bad. And Ricochet's like, I'm not hurt that bad. And he challenges him to a fight and tells the doctor to take him up. So yeah, oh, little baby, you're hurt. This is petty little promos. Cesaro came out to some new theme music that literally sounds like the Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know. I didn't like it. It doesn't fit him. The new theme for Cesaro doesn't really fit him. Then again, I said that about Keith Lee's theme. I just thought it was a little goofy, but it's slowly growing, and now it's addicting on my phone, basically. Oh, basket is glory. Basket is glory. Oh, basket. Okay, I'm getting crazy. Anyways, so with Cesaro and Ricochet had a pretty good match, I thought. Like a good, a pretty good, like Raw TV match. Like, on pay-per-view, I'm sure these two can tear it up for sure. But of course, there was some spots in the match, such as, a corkscrew Tube Conjiro. There was like a Swiss death and whatnot. And there was a couple, other, like crazy little, moves that, Ricochet was pulled on Cesaro again. With these two guys can literally pull, like, anything out of their pockets again. I want to see literally a pay-per-view feud between these two. It'd be awesome. Eventually, though, Cesaro gets the win. He hits Ricochet with the Gotch neutralizer. And Cesaro gets the win. All right, we'll see where this goes. Now we see AJ Styles being interviewed, saying, of course, he's back to square one. It's all right. He's got a lot of hard work. He has a lot of hard work ahead of him. He likes it, but he knows he can beat Seth. It just wasn't last night. Yes, he lost fair and square, but there is a reason that Seth is Universal Champion. And then, of course, I'm expecting Drew McIntyre to show up. I thought, okay, maybe we'll get a few with Styles and McIntyre now. But instead, it's, oh, this is pathetic. Baron Corbin rolls up. And he pretty much said, I'm tired of your old next time I can do it story. You failed last night. Styles admits that and says he just said that before pointing out that Corbin squandered his Money in the Bank contract and got fired as Raw GM. Corbin says, well, I pinned Seth 2 weeks ago to prove that AJ did deserve the match, calling it a slap in the face. Well, first off, Baron, didn't AJ beat you to earn this opportunity? Yeah, that's right. So shut your mouth. And AJ says, that wasn't a slap in the face, but this is, and he slaps Corbin in the face, and he just tells AJ, you're going to pay for that. Oh, you hurt me. He didn't say that, but that's basically what it was. So, great. We're having a feud now with AJ Styles and Baron Corbin. Why? These two had okay matches on SmackDown in 2017, but the Baron Corbin in 2019 against AJ Styles, not a pay-per-view feud. A match on Raw, whatever. A pay-per-view feud, though? Ugh. No way. A feud with AJ Styles and Drew McIntyre, though, that has my interest. But AJ Styles and Baron Corbin, ugh, pathetic. Oh my. All right. Speaking of patheticness not making sense, Roman Reigns comes out. And before he can speak, here comes Shane McMahon. Tell Roman he's the best in the world. He proved that when he won his steel cage match against The Miz, and he's officially done with Miz, which means he's focused on something else, which is Roman. he can't get what he did to his father out of his head. He's a global treasure, and Roman cowardly struck him to the ground. And what kind of man hits another man's father? Roman discusses him, and Roman says, I also hate spoiled rich kids. A whole bunch of crap, but the only thing he heard is that he's done with The Miz. Well, good. He's done with Elias, so his schedule is wide open. But Shane says Elias isn't done with him, and one fluke victory doesn't prove anything. So he's got beef he wants to squash in this ring tonight, which Elias never shows up, so I don't know why he even said that. So he mockingly calls Roman brave for issuing a challenge after what he went through in the steel cage yesterday, but he says he won't leave it up to them. He pulls the crowd on the match. They're into it, but he says it's not happening tonight because he controls his destiny like all rich kids does what once. So, plus, he's Roman's boss, so allow him to demonstrate his control. And out came Drew McIntyre. And Shane says this challenge is still not happening tonight, but it will happen at Super Showdown. And the last thing we'll hear when he wakes up is the announcement that Shane won their match. Roman offers a spoiler and says McMahon will just say he just got his ass kicked by Roman Reigns or everybody else. But so now the match being advertised, Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon at Super Showdown. All right. But Drew McIntyre is going to be in Shane McMahon's corner. Why the hell is Drew McIntyre once again being treated as someone's bodyguard? Well, he should be having an important feud right now, him and AJ Styles, and eventually make his way to fighting Seth Rollins for the Universal title. That's what it should be. Now we have Shane McMahon, Roman Reigns teasing their feud on Raw. Why the hell is this happening if Roman's on SmackDown? Like, there's no need for this, or Lars Sullivan coming over to Raw just for a stinking interview. Again, this wild card rule needs to die because it makes no sense because the superstars coming over are almost the same ones every single week, and most of the time the reason why they show up make absolutely goddamn no sense. And Drew McIntyre, a bodyguard again. Why? Why is Drew McIntyre now being a bodyguard again and not getting that serious main event push he should be getting? Don't care about this match now because of Drew McIntyre being a bodyguard. Again, I love Drew McIntyre, but he's not a damn bodyguard anymore. He's past that stage ever since him and Ziggler split up. It was fun while it lasted, but when he was ready to be set free on his own, there you go. But nope, that's not the case. Of course, we see some stuff backstage, and then we also see Drew and Shane talking, but then they ran into, first they're being into an interview, but Shane deflects a question about his match against Roman when The Miz rolled up, and McIntyre gets in Miz's face and says if Miz has a problem with Shane, he's got a problem with him, to which Miz says, ask if Shane has others fighting his battles now before saying once he's done with McIntyre, he's coming for Shane again, which obviously leads me to hopefully speculate that we will get that Extreme Rules match in July that I've been dying to I think is definitely well-deserved for a third and, blow-off match for this feud with Miz and Shane. So we'll see, of course, what happens when we get there. Before we move on, let's check the live chat and see what happens. We'll see what we got here. Let me see here. Where are we at here? I think the new title to that 6-woman tag team match was more of a 2-on-3 handicap match. Basically, and it was what it was. The crowd booed Brock. Oh yeah, they did. The 24/7 title is awesome. It brings entertainment to the show, like when Truth trolled Bobby Roode. Cesaro got new music better than the ambulance sirens. True, I still don't think it fits him though. The title is kind of ugly for sure. The new title is all for all the wrestlers sitting backstage not doing anything, and I was also Elite Squad's favorite part of Raw. Okay, Sami Zayn says, yeah, he feels like he is now. Aleister Black and some other SmackDown Live superstars should take the opportunity for the wild card role. Dylan Roston says, yeah, again, mix it up a little bit, but have it at least make sense. But nope, the only thing is just so Roman Reigns has an excuse to be on Raw every single week. Let's see. Did you guys see when Eric Young and Cedric Alexander, they slipped on the stage? I did not notice that. I wish Ali would have won. I would have had Ali win. He was my favorite to win it, but I would have been fine with him winning it. Alexa and Mickey, Alexa and Nia, and now Alexa and Nikki Cross. Yeah. We'll get to that one. AJ should stay on SmackDown. Big E is apparently coming back tomorrow. Interesting. And Triple H should be in charge, and Roman should stay on Raw. If they're going to have him just go on Raw every single week and barely do anything on SmackDown, then yeah, I don't know why they did. And again, it makes no freaking sense to me. Again, why some of the stuff is not happening on SmackDown, I don't know. We're going to just complete repeat of it tomorrow, make it feel like nothing but a damn recap show. That's all it's going to feel like. Ah, man. But anyways, continuing on with the last half of the show, we had the Usos taking on the Revival after, of course, painfully being reminded what was going on with this feud with the Usos embarrassing the Revival. They actually put on a pretty solid tag match. I mean, I feel like, on pay-per-view, these two, like, take away from the storytelling, these two could definitely put on a pretty good match. There has, of course, there was some close near falls in this match as well. We had some close near falls till the Revival won the match with an O'Connor roll up and a handful of tights from Dawson on Jimmy Uso. And then, of course, backstage, during this next backstage segment, they come by and they start like tooting horns at this Wonder World Series. It's like, okay, come on, guys. Like, why does every heel that they book like a loser for how many weeks, when they get a victory, they have to act like this? It's some big deal, whatnot. Yeah, I know they're heels, but they don't have to look like, little kids, basically. It drives me nuts. But anyway, so before that happened, Alexa Bliss is getting her makeup done before her Moment of Bliss segment. But then Nikki Cross pulls up, which once again, why is Nikki Cross being crazy in the ring, but not being crazy out of the ring? Like, they're slowly taking away the craziness from Nikki Cross, but I'm glad she's finally getting TV time. Again, I thought the performance she did was good in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I was glad to see her get a win last week. And what she did tonight, I thought was good too. So I'm glad Nikki Cross is getting opportunities now. Question though is, where the hell's Ruby Riott? It's because you split up the Riot Squad, I mean you had to completely give them absolutely nothing to do. Ruby Riott should have at least been in that. Again, Ruby Riott should have been in that Money in the Bank ladder match. Dana Brooke, though, was. Dana Brooke over Ruby Riott was in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Unless there's something going on with Ruby, I don't know, but we'll wait what other looks on them afterwards. But Nikki Cross asks Alexa, Alexa Bliss tells Nikki she did a great job filling her spot last night, but one little problem, she lost. Nikki said she had her hands on the briefcase for a second. Alexa says, yeah, but you still didn't win. But good news, then she has her own show. And basically, she allows Nikki to be her co-host on A Moment of Bliss. But then we had another episode of, a brief episode though, of Firefly Funhouse. They had like a new intro starring, the different characters, including Bray Wyatt. And then they start showing some kids. Things start getting creepy. And then all of a sudden, text start reading, let him in. And then we see Bray Wyatt and his mask appear on the screen and asks us to let him in. And that's all she wrote. Again, still interesting. Again, is this that suspense? For a few weeks, thought Bray Wyatt was hosting some kids show, and all of a sudden, you see, that obviously, he's fighting between, the powers of good and evil and whatnot. Is he fully embracing this evil side of him and whatnot? I don't have to wait and see. But once again, that's one thing that's got me kind of hooked is the Firefly Funhouse. Now, again, I could say for a few weeks, I thought, oh, this is Bray Wyatt hosting a kids show. But now this side of it, oh boy, now we're cooking. Don't ruin it, WWE. Like you already ruined the men's Money in the Bank ladder match because you gave a briefcase to freaking Brock Lesnar. So not him. Anyways, continuing on here. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross came out for a Moment of Bliss. Of course, first thing she points out is that she doesn't have her coffee. But then a crew brings out coffee. Alexa pours one on the other one before passing the spare to Nikki. And then, of course, out came the man herself, Becky Lynch, with just one title. But you'll always, in my heart, from me, Becky, beat Becky 2 belts. She comes out and takes a seat. Nikki, of course, keeps standing awkwardly close to Alexa, making her feel a little uncomfortable. But then finally, before Becky can answer her question about, what happened last night, out comes the Iconics which, yes, I know their voices can be annoying, but I would much rather hear them coming out than Nia Jax. They came out and they asked if they could still call her Becky 2 belts before realizing she only now has 1 belt. And Becky 1 belt doesn't have a ring to it. They try to cheer up Becky, point out that they still have their 2 belts. They won that WrestleMania. Ah! I can't do that. They're squeal anymore. And then Becky says, "Shut your faces. I have defended my titles more often in one night than you have in 2 months. I'll take them right in the ring right now and become Becky 3 belts." And of course, then out comes Miss I got my blonde hair. I got my blue eyes. I got my big tits, Vince loves. But again, credit where credit is due. Didn't do too bad, Money in the Bank. And I respect the fact that WWE didn't put the title on her yet. So, okay. Lacey comes in and accuses Becky of being a typical man and not knowing whom to give credit. Point out that the reason why she lost the SmackDown titles because, she got involved and she costed her. But Becky says, "Say what she likes while wearing your grandma's clothes," but she tapped out to half of her attention when she had half her attention. Now that she's lost the SmackDown title, she can slap her around full time on Raw. So Becky Lynch officially is on Raw, non-SmackDown, except for a wild card rule. But just keep her on Raw and keep her away from Charlotte. I'm still mad that they couldn't give her at least 1 month, like get her past 1 pay-per-view successfully defending both titles. But she says she challenged to take on all 3 of them. The Iconics and Lacey Evans. She challenged to take on all 3 of them. But then, of course, you're like, you're not going to need a partner. But then the microphone is just like sitting right there in Alexa's hand. Nikki Cross just leaves the microphone and goes, "I'll be your partner." So I'm like, okay, Nikki's getting some in-ring time. And then the lady says, "Nope, you're still 1 short." But Becky's like, "Okay, Alexa will do." But Alexa's like, "No, I can't do it." But Becky's like, "All you have to do is stand there and look pretty, and she'll take care of all of them." Of course, as soon as that happens, Alexa stands up, takes off of whatever she was wearing on top of it, and she's wearing some light blue outfit that, she probably could have wrestled in if she would have legitimately wrestled, but of course she didn't because she's not medically cleared. Once again, Alexa should just be just a ballet again. Because again, if she's not reliable with her concussion issues, just call it quits and stop beating around the bush with it. So Alexa Bliss, looking pretty, stays outside of the ring. And basically, the next match was supposed to be a 6-woman tag match, but it was basically a 3-on-2 match. Eventually, though, Lacey Evans, eventually just abandons the Iconics, and then they win after Becky gets a diving leg drop on Billie Kay. Afterwards, Becky just celebrates, and then here comes where things change a little bit. Again, I feel like maybe time to grow on this, but so far I'm not a fan of this completely. Just my opinion. Out came Mick Foley and says he has some business to attend to, starting with the title on his shoulder, even though you can see part of it peeking out of the little bag it's in. Now, there's been something missing from Raw in his opinion. He thinks that it's time to revisit those 3 letters, R-A-W. He wants to make Monday nights Raw again. For those to step up, he can speak from experience that it takes a lot to make a mark and be a champion. It's not just something you defend. You breathe, dream, covet, love, gladly sacrifice a few teeth and an ear, because that's how a legend is born. It's an obsession that consumes you throughout the day, every single minute, every single second, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So, with that spirit in mind, he presents the newest title to the WWE. Drum roll, please. You ready, Grafer? The Fisher-Price branded WWE 24/7 Championship. And I'm just like, oh, gosh. The name itself sounds ridiculous because obviously the concept behind it is basically the same thing as the Hardcore Championship, except we can't say hardcore. This is PG. And plus 2, the belt looks ugly as hell. Literally, it looks like literally like Vince went to like Toys R Us Awards, like a toy store, and saw this belt, like Fisher-Price brand belt, and bought it. Or he went at some arcade at Chuck E. Cheese, as the Lex Man said on Twitter. It's just so freaking ugly and stupid. The name implies the title is to be defended anytime, any place, anywhere. No days off as long as a referee is present. You can lose the title. Wear your trunks in the shower because falls count anywhere means falls count anywhere. So what he's going to do is lay this title on the line and make us aware that starting tonight, the third hour of Raw is going to get mean and nasty. Starting right now, we're going to crown our first 24/7 champion with a scramble, which, again, it's basically the hardcore title PG style. So any superstar from any brand, Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, NXT UK, and NXT, maybe even a legend will come in to compete for it here and there. He leaves the title in the ring and rings the bell. So the bell rings, but out come. Okay, here's the thing. Yes, the name is stupid. Yes, the belt is ugly. But if they were at least to let them do a little more, well, then again, it is falls count anywhere. So yeah, they can use weapons. They just did tonight. But outrunning came guys like Mojo Rawley, EC3, Eric Young, Gallows and Anderson, Titus O'Neil, No Way Jose. Well, Cedric Alexander came out there, but he deserves better than this. And even Drake Maverick. Drake Maverick was out there wrestling for this. What's this, the low card title? They couldn't at least bring out, Drew McIntyre or, Bobby Lashley at least, or like someone a little bit more higher up the ladder, even if we don't like them, for this title? It looked like the mid-carders out there just scrambling around like idiots. So then finally, Titus O'Neil, pushes away, throws Drake Maverick over the top rope and just takes everyone out. And he wins a 24/7 championship. He's the first ever 24/7 champion. No, he's the first ever PG hardcore champion. I still hate the name. Then out came Robert Roode and blindsided him, and he pins Titus O'Neil, and he's now the 24/7 champion. Okay, again, if they put more hardcore into this, and not they tell you they gotta avoid hardcore with this. Just make it bunch of low card guys scrambling around and running around like no tomorrow. It just looks so stupid right now with having just low carders, because there was a time where Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley were talking. Robert Roode just walked right past them, and they basically did nothing. It's like, wouldn't guys like that want to go after this title too? Like, why weren't they? Is this gonna be just for low card guys? Again, maybe I should give it a little more of a chance. But tonight, it just looks like it's just literally just a low card title for anyone right now. Like, it's the PG hardcore championship, but just no hardcore in it right now. So I don't know. I do find interesting how the graphics changed a little bit with the black and white, this whole lightning hour and whatnot. But things to tell you, a lot of people are chasing around Roode backstage. We have Drew McIntyre to take on The Miz, just typical match with the bodyguard and his pro who he's working for, as eventually with some help from Shane. The Miz did have a couple of moments in there showing a couple of near falls, which wasn't bad, but eventually Shane blindsides on The Miz from behind when referee Rod Zapata wasn't looking, and then he throws Miz back in. McIntyre the Claymore kick, and now it was that. Then they set up for The Miz to be hit with the coast to coast by Shane McMahon, but of course out came Roman Reigns, who Superman punched McIntyre to get him out of the ring, but Shane tries to blindside him from behind, but when Roman turns around, he runs away, and instead of calling him the best in the world, now just calling him the best at running away, basically. So yeah, that's what happens. The Weird Alliances align. Backstage, we then see Kofi being interviewed. Kofi says they know that Lesnar and Heyman are there, and Lashley and Corbin are legit, but Rollins adds that no one likes them, but they're still dangerous, so they're taking care of Lashley and Corbin first. And then Kofi says they don't know who Brock would rather cash in on, but he's worked so hard to become champ that he's ready to not just visit Suplex City, but survive it. He tries and fails to get Seth to join in on the hip swivel. And then we get a recap of what happened with Rey Mysterio and Samoa Joe last night with that strange pinfall finish. But then Joe starts talking on a handicap, says that everybody saw his shoulders were never on the mat and he should still be champion. He says Rey is a human and a wrestler and says he knows he'd never tarnish his reputation by accepting a dirty win. So give him a chance to do the right thing to give him back his title and be the man he hopes he hopes Dominic grows up to be. So I guess it's a modified and turned down version of bring me Nakamura or hand me my championship. Rey, hand me my U.S. title. Hope we get that intensity out of Joe with that in the coming weeks. So yeah, obviously it's gonna be a rubber match between these two, but typical 50-50 booking. But anyways, we then see Rude running through the parking lot asking R-Truth, who shows up. Last wild card. Asks him for help. Truth then hides him in the trunk of his rental car. Everybody Truth then tells everyone that Rude went the other way. But then when Rude came out of the trunk, I'm like, okay, you can basically know that he was falling for a trick, because in Truth's car was referee Derek Moore, and Truth slammed Rude into the car a few times, pins him, he wins the 24/7 championship. Now he's taking that to SmackDown. Okay, so who on SmackDown is going to take that to 205 Live? It would not surprise me if Drake Maverick somehow pinned someone for the championship just to bring that title to 205 Live. Either him or the Lucha House Parties bring that title to 205 Live if it ever goes. But geez, oh man, again, it's just get some bigger names in here, then maybe I can draw some interest. But right now, all I see again is just a Fisher Price toy being fought over by a bunch of low card guys, basically saying that anyone can get this belt. Needs to be a little more to it, as I said, but of course we'll see. We then have our main event. It was Kofi Kingston and Seth Rollins taking on Corbin and Lashley, but then also was made a no disqualification tag match. Why? I don't know. There was a couple random chair shots involved in the match, but again, it felt match was what it was. But once again, that's why was this a no DQ match if it did nothing? Because after the match, after Kofi pinned Corbin with the Trouble in Paradise, Bobby Lashley came in and speared both champions, and he was teamed up with the steel chair. But then Kingston ducks and Rollins hits the Van Daminator, and he goes to hit a chair shot on Lashley, who gets away just as Brock Lesnar comes out, but then just paces around, teasing he's going to cash it, but then they're not on the microphone. You hear Heyman pitching to him to come back next week and tell the world who he's cashing in on. And they just leave. So, once again, makes no difference because either way, nobody will be happy whatever they do with Brock as Money in the Bank, Mr. But yeah, but that's Raw. Let me see the polls on Twitter here. What grade would you give Raw this week? 8 votes. Nobody said A. 38% said B. 25% said C, and 37% said D or lower. I give it a C. Wasn't terrible, but there wasn't really that great of a show either. Didn't really care too much. Went on my hashtag. Raw is background noise for most of the show anyway, so I'll give it a C. It wasn't god-awful, completely intelligent and something, but don't care. Wild card rule sucks. 24/7 title, just call it the Hardcore Championship and, just make it a little more than just, a jobber's title. You know what I mean? Anyways, let's check the live chat one more time before we leave. And Ray Shin SmackDown, Miz down SmackDown, Randy gets to go to Raw. It was Seth who lost one belt, but kept one last night with Becky. That is true. I wish Titus slipped again. The Hardcore rule is funny. Is funny back in 2000, and Tyler gave it an F. All right, then. Thank you guys for joining me in the live chat, guys. Tomorrow I will be live for my SmackDown Live review, and I'm also working on trying to get my the last 2 levels of Adam Project worked on. So hopefully within the next couple of days, that Let's Play will be finished as well. And of course, whatever I'll do a match card for Stomping Grounds, but not for Super Showdown. Sometime soon, just not sure when. But yeah, C for Raw tonight. What grade did you guys give Raw? Tell your thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure as always to slap a like on my video, subscribe for more content on my channel, follow me on Twitter at TheManAirBody3. Also check out my first WrestleMania Experience documentary in the description box down below as well. And also, and with that, not also, but with that, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow to talk about some SmackDown Live. So until then, guys, have a great rest of your night, and peace out, everybody.